Hey everybody, Hoosier Jedi here with another review for you. This time talking episode 15 of season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. called One Door Closes. And this episode is basically kind of the secret origin of real S.H.I.E.L.D. And what I do like about this episode is that it really takes the time to show that real S.H.I.E.L.D. is both good, it has its good points and its bad points. A lot of the people in Real S.H.I.E.L.D. they're not evil. They're trying to do what they genuinely believe is right, and they do have some legitimate points and grievances. The main one being that Nick Fury really seemed to prioritize his secrets above the lives of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Now, of course, people who sign up to be S.H.I.E.L.D. agents realize, I may have to sacrifice myself for the greater good. And at the end of the day, though, Nick Fury can privately make all those little speeches that he wants about how hard it is to, sacrifice agents and whatnot. But from their perspective, all these people really see is that Fury did not, keep enough people in the loop properly, and things blew up in his face, and a lot of people ended up dying that probably didn't have to. I mean, the big thing that he had was in this episode was he gave Bobby orders to sink the Iliad in order to protect whatever was in the cargo hold. I mean, think about that. Fury is saying whatever is in that cargo hold is worth more than the lives of every single surviving S.H.I.E.L.D. agent on that ship. Now, we don't know how many people that is, but it's probably dozens of people. And you have to imagine that Fury probably put out orders similar to those to agents all around the world. So, that being the case, it's no wonder that Real S.H.I.E.L.D. is chomping at the bit to get their hands on whatever little toys Fury had squirreled away. I mean, if he's going to put that high a priority on them at a time when Hydra is slaughtering S.H.I.E.L.D. agents left and right, that must be a hell of a weapon, or whatever it is. And there's, of course, also just some general resentment of, hey, we don't really appreciate Nick Fury ordering us to our deaths, especially when, as we ourselves proved, it was possible to drive off Hydra and secure the Iliad. Nick Fury was wrong in that case. So, again, they do have some legitimate points. And like during the confrontation between Coulson and Gonzalez even says to Coulson, "Can you tell me 100% for sure that you're not under any alien influence?" Well, given that he was scribbling alien glyphs on a wall not that long ago, of course Coulson can't say that. But, again, Real S.H.I.E.L.D. does have its flaws. For example, as Coulson points out to Gonzalez, I was trying to find you. You were one of the people I was searching the hardest for. And rather than reach out and talk to me, you hid and then attacked me and my people. And Gonzalez doesn't even try and defend himself on that one. And there's, as we see from Agent Weaver, who, of course, remember, Fitz and Simmons admired tremendously. She's fought off an enhanced Hydra agent, and now she's loathes them, basically. Any people who are enhanced are just abominations to her. And, think about how that has to register for Fitz and Simmons. Skye is enhanced, and she's their friend. Obviously, Fitz is going to be like, whoa, you're even worse about this than Simmons is. And hopefully Simmons is going to be like, well, that you're going too far. I mean, Simmons has kind of been a little on an uneven ground on this issue, but yeah, especially if they're in regards to Skye. But still, she's not a bad person. She's just somebody who really kind of needs to get her thinking straight. And then we have Agent Calderon, who basically disobeys what Bobby says and immediately starts swinging, shooting real bullets at Skye, despite the fact that he's been told, hey, only use icers. She's a fellow agent. And I think he probably would have been pointed out to him, like, Skye is seriously freaked out about this whole situation. We should try not scaring her. And then there's, of course, the whole thing that Real S.H.I.E.L.D. is directing their resources to attack fellow S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Rather than... Now, in all fairness, though, Real S.H.I.E.L.D. has done good in the world. They did have the resources of the Iliad, which incidentally was the name of Maria Hill's helicarrier in Secret Avengers, and they used that to rescue a lot of S.H.I.E.L.D. personnel and apparently quite a few people from the S.H.I.E.L.D. Academy. So that's all well and good, but that seems to have been about all they've done. Coulson and his guys, just after S.H.I.E.L.D. fell, were actually briefly operating out of a crappy hotel room. They had nothing to work with. And that said, they were still out there trying to fight the bad guys and save the lives of agents. And even Gonzalez's episode acknowledges Coulson was unquestionably named the successor to Nick Fury. Gonzalez has no legal, shall we say, claim as being the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. Then again, they're also sort of trying to portray it as them being led by a committee in all of this. So, yeah, Real S.H.I.E.L.D. does have its points, but let's say their house definitely is not well in order, and they're more than a little bit hypocritical. But again, we do kind of have to remember that there are some good points here. You know, Bobby is going out of her way to try and make sure that Skye doesn't get hurt, and that they want to, and that she's brought in peacefully. Calderon doesn't listen to her, but that's not Bobby's fault. Mac, again, he gets himself hurt protecting Fitz. And, Gonzalez, despite being kind of a jerk, does finally sit down and discuss the situation with Coulson. And, yeah. And they do use the gas to take out most of the agents at the playground when they could have just gone in there, guns blazing and killed people. So, again, Real S.H.I.E.L.D. has its flaws, but they are good people trying to do good things. They're just misguided and operating under bad ideas. Anyway, let's kind of get right into things a little bit more on the character level. We've already talked a little bit about Fitz and Simmons. Not a huge amount to say about Fitz here, although it was nice to see that his friendship with Mac does seem to have been legit to Mac. And I have to imagine that getting himself hurt to protect him is probably going to earn Fitz is probably going to earn Mac some points in Fitz's book. We also get to see Fitz and Simmons reconcile a little bit, even holding hands, and I think Agent we even flat out referred to them as Fitzsimmons, which we haven't heard from quite a while. It was definitely pretty awesome to watch Simmons successfully take down Bobby all by herself. It didn't last, but it definitely does show that Simmons has come a long way. If she can outsmart a pretty badass S.H.I.E.L.D. agent like Mockingbird, I mean, we've been given a lot of good reasons not to like Simmons lately, but that definitely earns her a lot of points in my book. And this is especially true after Bobby personally saved her life at the beginning of the season. We also get to see a really nice throwdown between Bobby and May, which is cool. And May gets points for, really getting Coulson out of there in time, sacrificing herself basically so that Coulson can get away. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, the flashback stuff. We get to once again see Lucy Lawless, and hey man, there's nothing to complain about there. It looks like her character's going to stay dead in the present day most likely, but still, you can't complain about getting to see more Lucy Lawless, especially when she gets to go out there and do badass stuff. Okay, there's a reason why she's been very much loved for playing badass female characters, going all the way back to the good old days of Xena back in the 90s. And let's not forget, she's also done the voice of Wonder Woman before. It was, what was that, Justice League New Frontier? Ooh, good movie. And of course, Lucy Lawless as Wonder Woman. Can't complain about that at all. That was a dream for fans for many, many years. Let me see. What else do we have? Well, again, just sort of the verbal sparring match between Coulson and Gonzalez. I mean, man, you got to give Clark Gregg a lot of credit that he can go in there and stand toe to toe with Edward James Olmos in terms of acting. That is not a mean feat in any way, shape, or form. Edward James Olmos in terms of gravitas, is practically a force of nature. Okay, it is hard to do a scene with that guy and not have him completely and utterly dominate it. So yeah, lots of points to Clark on that one. And then of course there's the whole thing that's going on with Gordon and Skye. Gordon pops up and kind of gives Skye a big info dump about the Inhumans. He never refers to them as such, but here finally Skye is starting to get some serious answers about what's going on. And Gordon, he does handle this whole situation quite well. He's a very approachable, reasonable guy. He's like, I understand how you're feeling, how freaked out you are. I had years to wait for that change to come on. And the person that was my mentor, and it's pretty much been said that it was basically Skye's mother, although he hasn't told her that yet, said that after I was changed, the first thing that she did was embrace me. The first thing that happened to Skye after she changed was that she watched her friend die. Wow. All the difference in the world, huh? So now here's Gordon kind of like, hey, I can tell you what it is you want to know. I can introduce you to other people who are like you so that you can see that you're not a freak, that you are something unique and amazing and unlike most people in this world. And then, here comes along Real S.H.I.E.L.D. basically wanting to capture her. And whatever their agenda might be, it's definitely not Skye's best interests that are on it. So it's really hard to not understand. It's really easy to understand why Skye would say, like, okay, I'm going to take a chance on Gordon. And this, of course, really just makes you want to go, well, hell, what's going to happen next time? Which is great. And I also really like this episode. It had some nice nods to, again, Captain America. We even got to see the Hulk handprint there. Again, subtly reminding us that at this point, Skye really could be like the Hulk or Captain America. This amazing champion or this destructive force of nature. And Calderon learns right now Skye is the hard way that Skye is very much currently in the destructive force of nature zone. But again, this is due to the fact that he was freaking shooting at her with real bullets. So, Calderon kind of has no one but himself to blame for that one. Although I seriously doubt he's going to see it that way. Now, Bobby might be a little bit more reasonable, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. In any case, this episode does a really nice job of giving us some clarification on what's the deal with Real S.H.I.E.L.D., introducing Gordon to Skye and setting up wherever that is going to go next, and basically just putting us in a position where we really, really want to see what happens next. And you can't really complain about that. If a show can do that much, then it's can pretty much call that episode a success. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you this time. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and of course you can follow me on Twitter at Who's Your Jedi. Till next time, take care and have a good one.